guilty knowledge. This is a method that involves, quote, the detection of knowledge about a crime as a means for inferring deception. Bryan Kohberger also put his trash in neighbors' trash cans. No alibi. Still no alibi.
Can the prosecution show links from Bryan to Maddie?
He was in fact fired.
This is Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies.
Hello, Reporter Room investigators. My name is Jessica Della Davies. I'm an investigative journalist, and today we're going to be talking about the Bryan Kohberger, Idaho 4 case. We have so much stuff to get into. Those of you that don't know, I'm an investigative journalist. I was verified on Twitter before they started selling the blue check marks. I'm also verified on Facebook and Spoutable. And my job is to investigate crimes, criminals, and potential suspects, and to show you how to do the same thing. If you like to be armed with all of the latest information in this case, then you are in the right place. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and consider sharing this on your social media platforms. Today, we're going to be talking about the roommates and that 911 call. We're also going to be talking about evidence that was found at the crime scene and Locard's principal. We're also going to be talking about the fact that BK was following victims around, not the 12 cell phone pings. That this is something different. He was literally following victims around town. Yes, you heard that right. And finally, we're going to talk about the real reason BK felt comfortable driving his own car to the crime scene. Please stay with me. So BK swapped out his plates on his white Hyundai Elantra. Now, I thought he did this once he got back to Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. But no, we are finding out from a document obtained by the New York Times that BK changed his car tags 5 days after these crimes against Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were committed. So he did not wait until he got back to Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. A lot of people have questioned, why would he have driven his own car? Well, because he knew he was going to change his tags. And to be clear, he didn't renew his tags, which would be a lot cheaper for a college student. He actually paid extra money to change his tags. And so I think that is the reason that he brought his own car. So I want to talk about Locard's principle. Now, this principle holds that the perpetrator of a crime will bring something into a crime scene and leave with something from it. And that can be used as forensic evidence. So let's think about the different biological types of evidence we could have. The first one is blood, and in this case, we know there were 2 reddish stains found on the mattress and pillow that belonged to BK. What were they? We don't know yet. Who does it belong to? If it is blood, we don't know. Was this something he brought with him from the crime scene? Was he injured? Or was it something else? 2 is saliva. Because the perpetrator wore a mask, I think it's highly unlikely that saliva from the perpetrator would have been found at the crime scene. However, this does not mean that the perpetrator could not have come back and carried some type of saliva belonging to one of the victims back to his car or his apartment. Is this one of the reasons why the shower curtain was no longer hanging in the bathroom? 3 is skin and body fluids. Sloughed off skin cells, we don't know if any of those were left behind yet. 4 is hair. Now, we do know that law enforcement found animal hair and human hair in the apartment belonging to BK. Does the animal hair match Murphy the dog or Buddy the dog? Does the human hair match any of the victims? What do you guys think? We're going to talk about the 911 call and the roommates for a moment, and then I'm going to show you proof that BK was following the victims around town. Not the 12 cell phone pings, literally following them. Let's talk about the roommates and that 911 call to begin, though. So, per Yahoo News, the 911 call alerted law enforcement to the crime scene on November 13th. It's been shrouded in mystery. We didn't know why the caller initially reported an unconscious individual. But The call was made from a cell phone of one of the two surviving roommates at around 11:58 a.m. on November 13th. And the dispatcher was probably speaking to multiple people and to very frantic and upset people. Since then, we have had questions surrounding why the caller reported an unconscious individual when law enforcement described the scene as one of the most horrific scenes they had ever witnessed. Well, I believe the reason for this mysterious 911 call was revealed in Airmail's article, The Eyes of a Killer. Civilian employees at Whitcomb 911, this is an agency that serves Pullman, Washington, and also handles the 911 calls to the Moscow Police Department, as well as several other areas. So the agency is severely understaffed to such an extent that apparently dispatchers had warned about their concerns. They were worried that they would not be able to uphold public safety due to understaffing. So they put into place a standard protocol. And the standard protocol is when callers are agitated, and we know in this case that the callers would have been very agitated and upset, the dispatcher will often assign the call with a generic label of, quote, unconscious person. BK allegedly stalked the victims before November 13th of 2022. So allegedly stalked the victims. He followed them around, and his cell phone was pinging in the same places that they were going. So not just at the 1122 King Road house, but also at the places that they were going to visit. He was being very, very careful after the crimes were committed. He was reportedly wearing his gloves everywhere in public. The cell phone data shows that he was often in the same location as Xana, Kaylee, and Maddie, and even Ethan. Now, Ethan was probably with Xana at this time, which is why he was mentioned, but maybe not. If his cell phone is pinging in the same area where Maddie, Kaylee, and Xana and Ethan were reportedly going to, and this is according to the New York Post, then he was following them around. So this wasn't his phone pinging at the 1122 King Road house. This is his phone pinging while these victims are out and about doing their thing. That's crazy. So this is from the New York Post. I know that BK had another police interaction. He was pulled over late at night driving his Hyundai Elantra just minutes from the 1122 King Road house. So this is a citation that was given by the Latah County Sheriff's Office. It was obtained by the Independent, and it reveals that BK was stopped by police on August the 24th of 2022. So this was just 3 months, a little less than 3 months leading up to what happened on November 13th of 2022 for failing to wear a seatbelt. And where was he? He was at West Pullman Road and Farm Road in Moscow. So just 5 minutes away from the 1122 King Road house. Why was he there? And the time was 11:40 p.m. So was he leaving from or going to the 1122 King Road house and got pulled over? What do you think? Oh my gosh, subscribe, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think